In this video, we're going to plant these 18 potatoes into grow bags so that we can have another crop before the season ends. It is September 1st, friend, and we're going to get this going.
These are not just any potatoes. These are the next chapter in a journey I've been on for several years now, figuring out the best way to grow Yukon Golds here in Florida's Panhandle. Today we'll be planting them, but first, let's take a look back at how we got here. Back in early 2023, I planted Yukon Golds into grow bags using potatoes saved from my 2022 harvest. 20 days later, I was practically dancing over the first sprouts breaking through the soil.
Good morning. This is Bowtie Dave here looking at some potato plants. These are Yukon Gold potatoes that I harvested from my own crop last year, planted out on January 13th. And here we are 20 days later, and look at what's coming up.
Very exciting. By mid-February, the plants were growing strong, though I was already second-guessing how many I'd planted per bag. Welcome to potato gardening, a mix of joy and confusion, often in the same day. And just when I thought I had it all accounted for, I stumbled on volunteers, rogue potatoes sprouting in my raised beds where I didn't expect them. That was my first lesson. Potatoes don't follow your plans, they follow their own. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below it. It really helps this channel and keeps the garden growing.
Friend, we're back here behind the grape arbor right here in the side yard. The sun is setting, so we don't have a lot of time. Hopefully this will be a short video. We're gonna get some potatoes in soil because I've had these things sitting there. In fact, let me show you here. Some of these potatoes are starting their little green sprouts, and I'm very excited about that. And after this spring's experiment, I'm very excited to put everything into grow bags and see what we can get out of it. I've weighed every set of 2 potatoes that we're gonna put into each grow bag. Now I do have one grow bag down here that's volunteers from the last harvest that we did back in June, just a few months ago. I guess I missed a few. So they were in soil starting to come up, and I got them into this grow bag over here. So this thing right here that doesn't have a tag is going to be our volunteer potatoes. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. They are second early harvest potatoes, and it's the ones that we like to grow. If you didn't see the video that we just did on canning potatoes, these are the ones that we can. There's a little symbol in the top right hand corner here that shows you. There is a link in the description below of this video that takes you to that video. When you're done, there'll probably be a link on the end screen of this video too. Eventually there will be a link on the end screen of this video for the harvest of these potatoes to see how they do. I'm very excited, can you tell, to see what they do. So I'm going to get some grow bags moved up here so we can get this process started and moving. We do have that same tarp of soil that we used April of 24, April of 25. It's the exact same tarp. The tarp is done for. It is dead, and we're going to have to retire that tarp to a very important burial funeral. I'm going to get the soil that's in there. It's the same soil we put nutrients in for the April planting video. I think it was April, or was it March? I can't remember. You tell me in the comments below. But we're going to do, that was the one with the cartoon, Great Potato Experiment. Anyway, so we're going to try to get this soil used up, and my ADD brain is a little bit tired because I have done blackberries, I have done strawberries, I have done cucumbers, I have done beans. I have done so much today, and I'm kind of tired right now, but we're gonna get this done real quick. 9 bags of potatoes. How fast do you think we can do it?
In spring of 2024, I wasn't comparing suppliers yet. I was just trying to grow a solid crop of Yukon Golds in a 10-gallon grow bags. I reused soil, amended it with organic fertilizer, and planted 2 seed potatoes per bag. The plants looked fantastic, lush, tall, even a few flowers under the shade cloth. But Florida reminded me who's boss. Heavy rains, wind knockdowns, and most importantly, my timing mistakes. I planted a bit late, I stopped watering too soon, I harvested too early. The first 3 bags gave me only modest returns, and later bags weren't much better. That season taught me 2 lessons I bring into everything now. Let second earlies go full course before cutting the water, and don't rush the harvest if the tops are still photosynthesizing. Those hard lessons are why this fall's method is so disciplined.
You want to help me with the potatoes?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. It's on camera. He said yes. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. They are second early potatoes. There's 2 types of potatoes, folks. Here you go. 2 types of potatoes. There are early potatoes, late potatoes. The early potatoes are more like a determinant. They grow so much, they will grow their potatoes on a particular level underneath the soil, and then that's it.
65 days later, it was harvest time, and the results were mixed. Some bags gave a triple return, others barely enough to cover dinner. Heavy rain split a few potatoes, and some seed potatoes rotted before producing anything at all. Full disclosure, I was a little disappointed, but gardening is about learning, and I knew a second harvest was coming. By July, I had learned 4 hard lessons. Don't plant too late. Don't stop watering too early. Don't trust Florida storms to help out. And most importantly, don't expect perfection. But even through mistakes, I harvested enough to keep experimenting, and those lessons shaped how I'm planting today. This year, 2025, I ran head-to-head tests I've been building towards. 2 experiments side by side, same soil, same irrigation zone, and every seed pair weighed before planting. First, grow bags versus hard-sided pots. Same Yukon Golds, same fertilizer, same placement. The difference showed up early. The bag plants held color and vigor while the potted plants yellowed sooner. At harvest, my numbers told the story. Pot yields hovered in the why bother range, while the bags consistently produced more. In one case, a single grow bag beat multiple pots combined. In this humidity, drainage and air-pruned roots win. Second, store-bought seeds versus my own green-sprouted potatoes. You know, the ones I let sit on a dining room shelf for 9 months in indirect light. Those home-sprouted pieces broke dormancy early, pushed sturdier shoots, and at harvest they simply outweighed the store-bought. Pot for pot, bag for bag, the sprouted seed ran away with it. Here are a few snapshots so you can feel the scale of it. A hard pot planted with roughly a quarter pound of store-bought seed limped in at around the same or less in finished potatoes, basically a wash. A grow bag with similar store-bought seed did better, several times better than the pot, but still middling compared to what came out next. A hard pot planted with about a quarter pound of green sprouted seed leaped into the worth it category, multiples of what went in. And the showstopper, a grow bag planted with just a few ounces of green sprouted Yukon Gold returned well over a kilogram of potatoes, about a 14-fold increase. That wasn't a fluke. The neighboring bag landed in the same ballpark. So the pattern is clear for our Florida panhandle conditions. Grow bags beat hard pots, and green sprouted seeds beat store-bought. That's why this fall, every one of those 18 seed pieces is in a 10-gallon fabric bag, planted low and topped to the brim, using the exact fertilizer recipe that supported those best results.
Potatoes are divided into categories: first early, second early, and main crop. Yukon Golds are a second early, ready in about 12 to 14 weeks. They don't need repeated mounding like late varieties. Instead, they set one strong layer of tubers below the seed. That makes them perfect for container growing, especially in Florida's short fall window.
You're invited to join our Facebook group, the Bowtie Bunch. Share your garden photos, ask questions, or enjoy the chaos with the rest of us. See the link in the description below. Okay, back to September. To prep the soil, I emptied every grow bag in a pile, broke up the clumps, and amended it with fertilizer before refilling. Every single bag got the same mix. 2 scoops of Dr. Earth's veg and tomato, 1 scoop of bumper crop, all-purpose. Nothing fancy, just consistency. And yes, my trusty scoop is a yogurt cup. Don't laugh, it works. Reusing soil like this saves money and builds structure over time, but you can't just recycle it plain. Nutrients are spent, microbes need a boost, and organic matter breaks down. Amending with balanced fertilizers brings it back to life, ready for another round. And here's why I keep this going. Because after the harvest comes the kitchen. We pressure canned 12 jars of Yukon Golds this summer. They turned out perfect, firm enough for potato salad, but tender enough to roast. 1 jar opens and dinner's halfway done. Planting again this fall isn't just an experiment, it's food on the shelf, meals with family, and another round of learning. How do you handle potatoes in your garden? Do you recycle soil or start fresh each season? Have you had better luck with volunteers than planting plants? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. Potatoes taught me something about faith. You bury them unseen and wait. Some years they multiply beyond expectation. Some years they barely return what you planted. But each time you learn and you try again. And that's gardening and life at its best. I know your time is precious, and I'm grateful you spent it here today. Stick with us for the harvest in November. I think it's going to be worth the wait.
And here we are 15 days later, and the potatoes are popping through. Some bags are further along than others, but that's part of the fun, watching them surprise us. They get several hours of sun here and irrigation every other day, so they should be happy potatoes here. This is just the beginning. The real test will come at harvest in November when we see how much these bags produce compared to our spring experiment. Until then, you'll spot them in the end of our monthly front and side garden tours every month. And of course, as always, your garden doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Keep an eye out for the harvest video come November, and we'll see just how many Yukon Golds come out of these bags. Have a blessed day.